In 2009, a 124-slide PowerPoint leaked from a tech company. No charts, no revenue graphs, no product roadmaps, just culture. It wasn't flashy, but it hit like a thunderclap across Silicon Valley. Facebook's COO Sheryl Sandberg called it the most important document to ever come out of the valley. That company, Netflix, and the document, the now famous Netflix Culture Deck. It preached freedom over control, brutal honesty, and a firm, no brilliant jerks policy. But here's the twist. While it helped Netflix become a talent magnet, it also birthed chaos when other companies tried to copy it, without understanding the secret sauce. So today we're answering a bold, urgent question. Was the Netflix Culture Deck revolutionary or reckless? Because this isn't just a story about a streaming giant, it's about your workplace, your people, your decisions as an HR leader. Buckle up, we're diving deep into how one culture deck reshaped modern HR, broke a few companies along the way, and what it really takes to build a culture that performs without falling apart. Welcome to the People Code, your go-to space for decoding the world of human resources. From trending HR topics to real organization stories and case studies, we bring you insights that matter. And today we are going to unravel the truth behind the Netflix Culture Deck. The story begins in the early 2000s. Netflix was growing fast, but so was dysfunction. The company was bloated, inconsistent, and unclear on who actually belonged there. Reed Hastings, Netflix's co-founder, made a bold move. He started from scratch, designing culture the same way you design a product strategy. No more fuzzy values, no more team building for the sake of it. He and Chief Talent Officer Patty McCord asked, what kind of people do we need to survive and thrive? The result? A culture of extreme responsibility where top performers thrived and mediocrity was politely shown the door. They called it freedom and responsibility. And unlike most culture docs, this one wasn't buried in an onboarding portal. It was shared with the world, not as a best practice, but as a belief system. When Patty McCord compiled Netflix's culture into a slide deck, she wasn't trying to start a revolution. She was trying to make things clear. The deck said things companies weren't brave enough to say out loud. We're not a family, we're a team. Adequate performance gets a generous severance. We don't measure hours, we measure outcomes. It wasn't about perks or ping pong tables, it was about performance, maturity, and trust. Let's be real, how many companies claim we're a family, but ghost you when budgets shrink? But as this deck went viral, something strange happened. Companies copied the text, but missed the context. At the heart of Netflix's culture is this: treat adults like adults. That means no vacation policy, take time when needed, no travel approvals, use your best judgment, no micromanagement, just deliver exceptional work. The idea, freedom isn't the opposite of responsibility, it's what enables it. You were trusted until you weren't. Imagine telling your boss, I bought ad space during the Super Bowl, I felt it was right. Netflix might say, well, was it worth it? But freedom without feedback, that's a recipe for chaos. Netflix's secret weapon wasn't freedom, it was talent density. They hired top 10% performers and let go of the rest. Then came the infamous policy: no brilliant jerks. Skills aren't enough, behavior matters. You could be a genius coder, but if you spread toxicity, you were out. But enforcing that? Not so easy, because jerk is subjective and judgment human. What if Steve Jobs applied to Netflix? Would they pass on him? This raises a deeper question. Can radical honesty turn into quiet conformity? After the deck went viral, other companies scrambled to adopt freedom and responsibility. But they missed the foundations: extreme clarity, uncompromising talent standards, leader accountability. Instead, they gave average teams unlimited freedom with zero support. That's like giving a toddler a Tesla and saying, don't crash. Spoiler alert, they crashed into HR lawsuits, broken trust, and burned out teams. But here's the thing, it worked for Netflix. Stock price up, churn rate low among top performers. Speed of innovation, unmatched. Their culture helped them pivot, scale, and attract elite talent. But it came at a cost. High turnover, cultural fatigue, intense expectations, which begs the question, was it scalable or was it fragile? The pandemic changed everything. Empathy became a business imperative, and suddenly radical candor sounded cold. Netflix struggled to maintain its culture in a remote world. The trust model relied on presence. Now people were distributed. HR leaders faced a dilemma. Do we soften the culture or double down? The cracks were beginning to show, and they weren't just structural, they were emotional. So here's the big takeaway for HR leaders. Don't copy Netflix's policies. Copy their discipline around clarity. Culture is not perks, it's decisions. Who gets promoted? Who gets tolerated? What behavior gets rewarded? That's your culture, not what's on the wall, but what happens in meetings. Netflix didn't write a deck to impress Glassdoor. They built a system where high performers could thrive, and they removed anything that slowed them down. Most companies are scared to be that honest, but if you want to win in a talent-scarce world, you have to answer the hard questions. What kind of behavior are we afraid to confront? Where are we being nice instead of clear? Culture isn't what you say, it's what you tolerate, and Netflix chose to tolerate very little. So, was the Netflix culture deck disruptive? Absolutely. It redefined the role of HR in strategy. Was it dangerous? Only a few misunderstood the why behind the what. Because freedom without readiness becomes recklessness. And copying culture without context, that's a shortcut to failure. The Netflix culture deck didn't change HR overnight, but it made one thing impossible to ignore. Culture is a strategy, and the best cultures aren't the softest, they're the clearest. Thanks for watching. Keep building, keep questioning,